Welcome to our gathering drum for this ENM poly love reading. Oh, y'all, this full moon in Libra, the pink moon, here on Easter weekend, Resurrection weekend, or April 15th through the 17th, whatever you call this weekend of 2022, is some shit, okay? Let me just say, move through the discomfort. Just move through it. Be carried through it. Allow it to unfold and do only what is your part. Do the next right thing. Boy, oh boy, relationships are going for a ride right now. Things that have been stuck in illusions, things that have been chilling at the train station are getting yanked onto the train and taken on a ride without much telling of where you're going. So just shit. Let it happen and move through the discomfort. If you avoid it or resist it, it will play back around, right? It's just, do we want to keep going in this cycle or do we want to move forward? And while there's free will involved and you only control what is your responsibility, your reaction, your behavior, your words, your thoughts, your feelings, that's what you're being asked to take a look at and to be responsible for. Excuse me. So, baby, you're on the train, whether you are sitting calmly and peacefully and you had a chance to brace yourself and you, which is all really just dependent on certain signs in your chart, or being a prophet or psychic and getting heads up and then, following through with everything. Or you were in the bathroom on the train and the train took off and you didn't get to brace yourself and you didn't even know when it started going at a certain speed and you were like, what the hell? Or you try to run on the top of the train or hang on to the side or being dragged by it or glued up against the windshield. And I mean, we're all going, right? So just know that everybody's at a different place. See if you can tap into the grace of that. And it's interesting that I'm bringing this up right now as I'm doing this ENM poly reading, because you beautiful people are admirable for being nonconformist in terms of relationship structure in your life. You have a lot of love to give and you are loving a lot of people. And first off, can I just say thank you for loving those people, okay? Secondly, thank you for loving yourself enough to heal and transform what love is within you and make sure that the cup you're offering to these people is full and full of good love to give, right? That there are no surprises in that cup when they take a sip. And that you are self-aware and taking responsibility. Again, I'm hearing this just taking responsibility for your part alone and showing grace, compassion, and compromise in these funky energies, because some people are literally getting dragged by a train right now, and that's how they feel. Okay. Now, with all that being said, this is like take 652. That's how it feels. We're going to go with it this time with all interruptions, distractions, flubs and bloopers, and feeling of struggling and going against the grain, because it's felt forced a couple times when I tried to record it. Then it got better with time, and then it was like, Alicia, you need to eat. So bear with me. Know that this is still, again, part of the energies right now. Now, if you happen to be watching this later on, say later in April or in May or next year or years from now, just know that you found this reading because something about the nature and energy we're in helps you to see the things that they're about to channel through me about the connections. Does that make sense? I hope so. So just know that there was a special energy here on this video and at this time that gives insight that whenever you're watching this, you need when you watch it, okay? There are certain things that happen in our world, whether you believe it to be astrology and those types of zodiac energies and astrological events and collective changes and shifts, or you believe that it's just the atmosphere and the God, creator, goddess, whomever, universe does things, it's all in perfect will when it's to develop us or show us different things and do the transitions and transformations that are needed. So at any given moment, you could be directed to or feel a strong pull towards a certain reader, reading, or message because the beautiful, perfect storm of what created the possibility of that message to come through is what you need wherever you are right now. And it's like an energy collision, okay? Whoo, that feels so much better. It's like they wanted me to get this message out in order to do this reading and in order to apply it. So thank you for those of you who are actually watching this part of the reading and listen to all of that. I truly appreciate you because I know then that that message came through for a reason, where being someone who has such lots of cardinal energy in my chart, it's important to me that it actually gets received. So thank you for receiving that. Love you. Mwah. Blowing you all of that. Okay. Now, I feel a little bit better. Now, pile one. Before we even get into how to pick the piles, I want you to do 3 breaths with me, okay? Let's do it now. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Out the mouth. Leave it out. Inhale again. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Out the mouth. Leave it out. 1, 2, 3. In the nose. Last one here. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. And out the mouth. Leave it out. 1, 2, 3. Breathe normally. Naturally, I should say. Breathe naturally. Thank you, our sacred higher power, in all of the many divine forms you show up. You are all welcome here. Thank you for these clear and concise messages. May all those watching feel this safety of this safe space we've created where all faiths are welcome, where we are LGBTQ plus friendly and we honor different relationship structures. May their souls feel comforted, soothed, accepted, welcome, and so incredibly loved as we, with open minds and open hearts, receive these messages of wisdom, guidance, healing, and divine power for our greatest good as a unified community. I love you all. I thank you for being present here. And that divine being that I am an embodiment of is what I am also honoring and respecting and loving within you through this experience. Thank you for being here. Let it be great as we see, hear, sense, and know truth for our greatest good. Ashe and amen. Okay. Pile one. You have some kind of connection where there is one very strong link. I don't want to tell you who it's between. You know that. And then outside of the very strong links are either 2 other connections or potential for 2 other connections. Okay? Each person in that strong link is open to having other connections. All right? So this is like a Z. However, for some of you, it isn't a Z. It's just a strong anchor relationship, if you call it that. Okay? Never putting labels on folks. And then open possibilities outside of it. Pile 2. This is a Z that's, or a V, by the way, that's very much established in all directions. So the V itself, right? There are 3 energies here with 2 bonds, 2 links, 2 connections. And then there's another one that may be forming or may be desired or may be an idea that's being discussed. For those that do in fact have a Z, you know what the deal is, right? There are 3 acknowledged connections. Pile 3, you've got a V, or you've got a triad, or you've got 3 folks who are solo but tend to really lean towards each other, or you've got 3 folks who are thinking about forming a triad or a V, discussing how it's going to work and where the hinge is in this. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. I'm not trying to get too specific because I'm talking to, on one of those readings, I was talking to like 300 of you, which was so freaking awesome. And on the others, there's still been a good anywhere between 30 and 100 something. But with all those different thumbs up, it tells me that you all are, in fact, enjoying these. So I am going to be continuing them. I would like to get on a schedule where you know when to expect them. So if you have input on that, put it in the comments. All right. Find your timestamp and let's get started. Pile 1. This is that potential Z or an anchor relationship, and there's open people or open possibilities for other people. Okay, I'm going to be talking about one person that's kind of the main character here today. It doesn't mean that that's how we see it. I just need to be able to look at the whole thing from a vantage point. So imagine I'm coming in like a drone and sitting right behind one person's shoulder and being able to see the connections from that consciousness, that individual consciousness, okay? The reason I do it this way is because it helps me to tap into the actual connection energies. Whereas with bird's eye view, when I just read it and they're all separate and I'm not looking at that, I'm really talking more about each of you individually in like your spiritual connection with your higher power. I hope that makes sense. All right, we've got aspiration here, 54 in the 64 Faces of Awakening. And this wisdom keeper wants all of us to know that dreams really do come true. When you do what you need to advance, to progress, to handle your responsibilities. And it's interesting too, because at one point when I tried this in one of the many 7 million takes, there was a white dove as an actual item that I had used. And there's doves here on this sweet person's shirt. There's also this pink lotus of the crown chakra. There's a glow that really talks about that solar plexus. There's this snake in a graduation hat, you know, at the third eye. And then there's other snakes from before this person that guide them on like ascended masters. Why am I saying all this information? Because that is something that oozes into this arrangement. There is a nature of spirituality. There is a nature of different parts of this person, whoever this is, being stimulated. There are dreams that someone here, it could be that there's a really big dreamer that you could point out in your arrangement, the people that are involved in the setup. And again, it oozes is what I'm hearing. Like it positively influences all the connections there. So it's as if everyone here really does respect this person. And when I said before, there's one strong connection, I feel as if whoever gets involved with this partnership, the strong one, feels inspired, motivated, like they want to be around these two or around either person because of just the wonderful inspiration and yumminess, deliciousness of the energy that these two share. Okay? Now, with all that being said, let's take a look at the connection. So we're looking at one main connection and potentially 2 or more others. Let's get the main connection right now. And then I'll be able to pull the others and see where they go. So I can, from drone space, be able to make a little bit more sense of what it looks like and help with the messages that come. Show me this main attraction. Show me this main event. Beaver. Okay. So that solid connection that's been established for quite a while, that's what makes it so solid, and that really is strong, stable, and grounded, has been built over time. It could be that these two share domestic responsibilities. It could be that the part of these two people that is very stable, likes security, puts in the work, is in it for the long haul. Maybe what is the word I keep wanting to say today? Not aspire, but that's in here. I can't think of it. Adopts? No, that's not it either. If there's anybody here that actually does like certain traditions and not others, there's some kind of traditional values that these two in the anchor connection, or whatever you call it, really do connect on. And so, like I said, it could be that these are people that have a living situation or legal parameters that come with marriage or civil union or domestic, I can't think of any freaking words today. I'm sorry. That's how they connect. Okay. It could even be that connection is solely for that. Okay. Could even be roomies. And the other connections don't live together or share living space. This is like that day to day. We're building this. Built this city on rock and roll. It's like you and this person, or these two people, are building brick by brick or stone by stone or whatever, sludge by sludge. Their fortress, their dam. And it's taken time and they've done it. Oh, so we got 3 cards that flipped over. I'm going to take them all. Look at that vulture. That's me as a drone looking over it. I'm just kidding. So we've got dragonfly. They want that up there. Peacock, they want down here. And white swan is, okay. I'm hearing this is the maybe. But I'm also getting that the white swan, every time it comes up for me in the past month or so, it's like the whole picture. Okay, so it's like someone who could be involved with all of you or something like that. Okay, something you have in common is coming through. So you could all work together. You could all have gone to the same school together. There's something that connects you all, and that energy comes in and out. So you might necessarily, like I said, it may be that, I'm getting so many different ways. So hold on a second. It may be that some of you are watching and saying, yes, it's a V right now. And then every once in a while, someone else joins in or is kind of deciding, and they're in and out whether or not they want to be a part of this. For another person perhaps watching, or people watching, this is like all of you see each other in a certain space, and the energy of all of you colliding energetically is this white swan. Okay, I'm feeling lots of feminine energy, and all I mean by that, there could be all men, and I'm talking about this, but I'm feeling all of these connections are very nurturing. They're very inward, introspective, intuitive, and healing. And I feel like all of you have a place in the world where you are helping heal, change, shift, be advocates for certain things. And so it's like you all feel as if, well, I need to be able to come to connections and relationships that like refuel and regenerate. And that's what these are. Beautiful. All right. We talked about that main one, and we understand why the swan is in and out like this. Let's talk about the peacock connection. This is the one that looks good to people. Okay? And the two people connect In that very creative showman, like to dress up together and go out, playful, attracting and drawing attention without trying nature, okay? Then we've got the dragonfly connection. That's ever changing, it's evolving, it's learning. I feel somebody saying this is the first of its kind in this setup. So who is aspiration here? Yeah, I could have guessed that. Okay. So it looks like I'm seeing this connection from this person's perspective, which makes sense because I'm a creative like this person. And I'm seeing like, oh, there's this connection here that I've had a very long time. And then there's this connection here. And there's also almost like the possibility of another connection, except that's not with me. So I feel like the dragonfly is with the beaver. The beaver's with this peacock person, and then the swan could come or go. All right? So I'm going to set it like that. And I'm just going to get specific messages here now that need to be said. Please drop them where they belong so I know who they apply to. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. We're going to go with who flipped over first. Then we got Knight of Wands here. So yeah, these are all connections that have their own attraction. It's funny, I said main attraction, main event. Like they have their own, not just attraction between the two people, but like the world's attracted to them. All of these stand out in the world. You could hang out with any of your partners here, whoever you are in this, and people would notice you. Either because of the visual attraction or the energetic power that shows when you are in person together, or the beautiful love that's between you that's felt, or what you do when you go places. Like people want to look and listen and pay attention. Some of you may be performers as well, over here, especially with this peacock. All right, so this dragonfly connection is in need of some doing and some growing. With this King of Wands and this King of Pentacles, it feels to me as if there's so much going on and so much pursuit, initiation of goals, achievements, responsibilities, leading the world or the career or the families, that the connection is getting a little bit neglected right now. So it's kind of like, can we remember what it is that we were trying to do here and reconnect to the purpose and the shared desire, dream, okay, that whole dream. I think also it's interesting that this is what showed up to start the whole pile, because it's like all of you need to remember what the dream is of each connection, okay? Then we've got the beaver connection here. Oh man, there's something happening that's taking some strength to overcome. There's a fourth, and that's what I didn't notice before. This is actually a fourth connection. So hold on. The dragonfly connection is between two people. The two people could be a King of Wands and a King of Pentacles. Someone who's very much fiery energy, so very passionate, very powerful presence, very much a motivator, inspiration to folks in the world or in the connection. And then someone else is a little bit more grounded, but still a leader and very practical and responsible and wants to do things a way that makes sense. That's that dragonfly connection where I said it's ever changing, ever evolving, growing, finding its way, and needs some attention. The beaver connection is the one between the two that is very anchored. And that one's going through some challenges right now. And there's lots of interference, not from the other connections, but like just in general. I think that Libra full pink moon we were talking about in the beginning, if you didn't watch that, there's a lot of information that could help with what's going on. I think it's really making these two beavers, whoever they are, look at the foundation of that dam that's been built and the water and the forest and all this stuff and go, wait a minute, something's so different right now, and we're having to come through some changes and some challenges while having whatever's going on in the freaking world impact it. You know, it could even be that part of this ENM poly connection or dream came out of the last few years that were very much making us take a look at things. And so the new energies that have been provided, is what I'm hearing, by the universe, by your higher power, are helping to intervene in ways that actually serve that strong connection. It's really interesting. Okay, let me get the rest because it might help me understand. We got Hermit here, and it's sideways. And then with the Swan, we've got 7 of, okay. So give me just a second here, hold on. It's like you really wish everything was more connected. I feel like we've been getting some of this in some of the past ENM poly readings. There's been one pile that keeps having a message of, you all need to find a way to honor each other's connections and have communication, because it's as if you're all becoming a community that serves all of the links within it, you know? And even if it's not friendship, there needs to be at least some kind of sense of, like I keep hearing this word, honor. I honor what you two have, or we honor what y'all have, or there's something so cool about what that connection brings to this person whom I love, and they show up with me in a very different way, in a more healed, healthy, full way, because that part of them is being activated, stimulated, and fed by the connection they have with you. You know, there's something like that happening here, and I feel as if other connections are being neglected because the struggles that are going on in this beaver connection. And again, it's not directly affecting it. So here's the best example I can give you. Two people have been involved for a very long time, and they have a mutual friend, and they work in the same city and maybe even go to each other's offices every once in a while. That mutual friend and the office, they go back and forth, you know, the work stuff they're doing, are having a hard time in life right now. And it's making each of these two beaver people really work harder, take on more responsibility, feel a little stressed, have to have ways to de-stress, decompress in the middle of dealing with the pandemic and in the middle of all of the different movements and points of discord and dissension in our world right now. And then they go and they want to connect with other people outside of their connection, and they're just stressed out. Well, the beaver connection knows how to get over the hurdle and how to have the difficult conversations because it's been established for a very long time. However, at the same time, it's just feels like too much on some days. Then the other connections are like, well, we haven't been around as long, and they have perhaps their own friends, other lovers, family members, whatever, I'm also getting holiday vibes here. Like, there's just too much. I just keep hearing the word just too much. It's too much. Too much going on at once. And so these other connections feel that impact. And that's why I'm feeling like everybody's being asked, come back to the dream. Why did we decide? And I mean, in each part, right? The two peacocks need to say, why did we decide to connect in this way? Let's come back to the joy of it. Let's come back to the love in it, the divine part and sacred part of how we elevate and bring each other into that beautiful creative vibe. The two beavers need to be able to say to one another, we've gotten this far by faith. we've gotten through a lot. We know how to overcome. We need to let go and let the parts of what we've built that are not strong enough be revealed to us. Step back and watch the main event. Did the fort, the dam, whatever that we built, really do what we wanted it to do? And if not, it's okay. We already are so invested, and we can patch up some places or destroy certain parts and build them again. The two dragonflies need to appreciate what they offer each other in their connection, because it's more in passing. It needs a little bit more of, let's make it concrete. I don't mean commitment and all that stuff necessarily. I mean, what is it? The peacocks know what they bring to each other and why they connect. The beavers know what they bring and why they connect. The dragonfly connection needs to be sorted out where it's, what do we do for each other? How do we connect? What part of our souls really vibe? Okay. And then this swan thing, I'm going to get some clarification. I don't know what the heck we're talking about with the swan thing. And to see that 7 of Wands to me, every time I see the white swan too, I think of motherly, nurturing energy. That's pure. And it needs to be honored. It could be that somebody got a baby mama outside of this, or somebody has an actual mother that's, in that fellow, in that next generation, or, there's something like that. I'm also feeling there could have been someone who passed, crossed over, and they're now in spirit form, and someone really needs some help, some support, grieving, because the way that they're showing up in the world is difficult. Okay, Knight of Wands, the same card is here. So give me a second again, because this was in and out, right? In and out. That also could be affecting this right now. I feel like there's enough going on here that anything coming in and out like this, Swan, needs to be coming in and out with positive influence and impacts, because things are already tricky in these connections. And then we got Page of Cups. Have that grace and compassion I was talking about and communicate. It may feel awkward if you all are not all involved with each other. It could not hurt to get on a Zoom call too. I mean, it sounds weird, but like for real, how can we make sure everybody involved in this is better because of it, is elevated? How can we see some of this, again, from that drone view or bird's eye view, saying, we don't need to be involved in each other's connections if that's not the arrangement in the plan. However, we are here to honor our fellow human beings, and we want everybody to be happy, healthy, and feel strong. Because, sense of humanity, we're all going through a lot right now. Okay? I hope that helped you in some way. I wish I could keep going, but gosh, this would be like 4 hours long. Let me know how you liked the way that I did it today. I'm still kind of feeling out what's going to be easiest moving forward to keep doing. I do like picking out the different connections. Sometimes though, because we're picking out the energy of a connection, it's tricky because it's not picking out the energy of the person, which you've seen me do before in some reads, where it's talking about the people. However, we don't get to talk about what's happening with them. We're just kind of picking into each person's psyche. Okay. I'm doing my best, y'all. So thank you for being here with me. Click that thumbs up, comment. I love your comments. You are the community, the sub-community within my whole community that gives me the most feedback, and I'm so grateful. Talk to you soon. Until I do, spread love and share joy every day in your own unique way, and ta-ta for now. Pile 2, you had this Z where there's a V, and the connections in the V are very, I just heard, I think I said acknowledged when we were doing the pick a pile, right? They're acknowledged and recognized by all parties involved. And then there's one that either is about to be forming, it's new, that turns it into a Z or N. And for others, it's been there as well. So, we're going to try to read it the best way. I was explaining in pile 1 at the beginning that I'm going to treat this as like a drone reading. You know how drones go up in the sky and see the full picture. The difference today is I'm not going to keep the drone above everybody. The drone is going to come down on somebody's shoulder or behind them, right? And I'm going to look at it from their vantage point because I want to know what's happening in the actual emotional, energetic connecting between people. So I'm reading the energies of the connections instead of the energies of the individuals. So here we go. Initiative. All right. This person enlightens. This person awakens. You see how that's different? Enlightening is pulling people up to their best light. It's helping them shine brighter so that they can rise higher. When you are, I almost want to say impassioning, but I didn't say that word, did I? I said enlightening and, oh my gosh, I don't remember what I said. They're changing my word. Okay, I'm channeling big time right now. So impassioning then is like, let me help that fire. So this is someone that's very much a healer. Just being around them does this. It's like their light is so bright that when you get around them, it's involuntary that the light within you shines brighter. It calls your light out, okay? Because like attracts like. And so then if your light is revealed within you by being around this person, and it's kind of like puttering, they kind of like love on your light. It's just that's who they are. It's not something, they do take initiative, right? They also have an initiative to heal, to help, to enlighten, to inspire, to call forth the best parts of folks. However, it's more intuitive, instinctive, and innate than it is intentional in the moment in their consciousness. Like, some people may even look at this person with envy or even, I'm hearing depreciation, like annoyed by their light because they may think they're doing it on purpose, in somebody's face and showing off. When the truth is, this is just who they are. This is who they were chosen to be on the earth, is a light. Okay? Be grateful. Because we all need that. The same way that, if you're not the person I'm talking about, the same way that you may do this in a different way. You might help people get grounded. You might help people. We need all these different elements. We need all these different parts. And so it's beautiful when we can meet someone who's like an angel embodied. They're able to be used by our guides, is what I mean by that. And you're like, whoo, thank you. I really needed that conversation. And that conversation is going to like bless me for months to come, or wow, I got the best hug from you, or even making eye contact with you and laughing in the experiment or experience or activity we had together did me so much good in my soul. Thank you. That's that kind of person. Okay. So that's, now that I described that, that's the perspective I'm able to see from today and pick up on what's going on. Okay. Honeycomb. Don't ask. I just saw it. All right, let's look at the connections. So we're, oh my gosh. Okay, well, that was completely unintentional and did not happen. I don't think that's happened in a pick a card more than like once. So what I want to say about that is I think that the V is in fact ready to become a Z or N or whatever the hell we're going to call these things. Ready to be acknowledged and recognized. There were 2, and now there's more. Now there's 3 at least. Okay, moth in reverse. Someone's feeling less than good enough, and they're attracting somebody in that energy of feeling less than good enough. Okay? There's some insecurities. Now, please be careful, because if this extra connection, if this third connection that's coming in is, nope, it's not the third connection. No, they told me, look where you put it. It's not the third connection. This is one that's been here. So someone's feeling insecure. Shark. Okay, hold on. Someone's feeling threatened and insecure about their connection. Hanged Man. Let me just get, I want to look at this connection real quick. Give me a second. Yep. Could be victory and celebration, and it's not. All the beautiful flower arrangements y'all done put together in your cups that you share are spilling out. The truth is, all you gotta do is pick them up and put them back in there. So what is this about? Wow. Someone's really struggling. Hold on. Yep, love her. Someone's really struggling, feeling as if they're going to still be treated as if they're important. I'm sorry, y'all can't see that. So we've got here the Hanged Man as the connection. Hold on, let me see about this. I'm not really sure about this kind of thing. The person who's really feeling like this moth in reverse is 6 of Wands in reverse. I don't like this. I feel like we're having to redo things. I feel as if every time we have a success, it's a step back. Someone's feeling like that. And then we've got 2 of Wands. Is that birdie getting ready to go on some kind of adventure, a new journey, embark on something that they've never done before. The 7 of Pentacles, which is taking care of each other, of house and home, even considering your own personal home of your being, your body, your vessel. And then we've got this Page of Cups, which is, I keep hearing the song, Come See About Me. What is ravaging? I'm hearing somebody, what y'all going through? Okay. I got to keep going with this because somebody needs some straight up clarity, and the others need to know that this is going on. Scene, Queen of Swords. The story they're telling themselves, 10 of Cups over here. You see how that flew? Did you see that? There's someone's feeling jealous and insecure. We know jealousy comes out of insecurity, and not insecurity in the connection necessarily, insecurity in themselves. That seeps into the connection. When both people in any connection are secure about who they are, what they bring, how ridiculously awesome they are as people, needing nothing outside themselves to tell them that they're amazing, except their own connection to themselves, their higher power, right? The truth. Then they can come together, and if the connection feels a little wobbly, they secure it. However, if one or both, it really just takes one person to feel that way, and then it affects both, right? If one is all like this, it's like, whoa, 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 what's that? Okay, that's what's going on in this connection. The opportunity, 8 of Cups. There's an opportunity to walk away and go find happiness. However, if you're in an ENM poly connection, if you both are ethically non-monogamous, you are choosing that this is the arrangement, then someone going and finding fulfillment somewhere else is part of the plan. The reality, yeah, new beginning, new start. That's only 2 major arcana there too. It is 1 step forward, 10 steps back, and then 7 of Wands as the what needs to be allowed. You need to allow, I love that. Look at this. 6 of Wands to 7 of Wands. And I'm going to show you here. When it's 6 of Wands, this person has set up their stage. They have set the stage. Okay, and this is the person in the connection. So they set the stage. Here's their cup and their partner's cup. Vase, vessel, whatever. And it's wands, right? So power, beauty. Beauty that's not seen with the naked eye, right? This is like what we got going on. Okay? We both got stuff going on and we got it going on side by side. And oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting on. This is victory. This is success. This is beautiful. Triumphant. But I'm hearing trampled. The next step from this would be, oh, I love it. I've never seen that before. The 7th wand is being placed to bridge these two together. So this is like, how can we do what we both do best together? You come and you plead what you want. I come and plead what I want. Well, how do we figure out what we both want? How do we honor each other's wants? That's beautiful. That's the opportunity. 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups here. Okay, last little piece. 8 of Wands in reverse. So someone's not saying much. What's yet to be expressed is a whole lot of stuff. This person's kind of freaking out over here. 9 of Swords. Well, what do I say? Which thing do we talk about? How am I going to explain this? What's happening? That's the kind of vibe there. And it's like, first off, find your own center. And maybe that's why this is being put on hold. Because it's not stable and secure. Could be that someone's showing a lot of anxiety attachment style as opposed to secure attachment. Could be that somebody is showing some codependent behaviors and they need to look at self for a minute. Queen of Pentacles, Justice, and 3 of Pentacles here we've got with this other person. I'm building things. I have multiple friendships, connections, people. I am a social butterfly. I also am someone who does the right thing. I'm trustworthy. I have all of this to give. Either you can recognize that and find it within yourself. You know, it's almost as if, and then Ace, oh boy. Someone's really hearing some hard truths right now. And I feel as if the way that this moth connection came together, I like the way I'm doing this in this pile as opposed to how I did it in pile 1. I apologize to pile 1 folks if they're watching it, but hey, no I don't. It probably went the way it was meant to go. I feel as if what brought this connection together is not what's going to keep it together. It's going to take more work than just that. From one person, I just keep feeling like one person's energy is really creating the instability of the connection. Does that mean screw you, go away, No. It means let this heal that. Let me say that one more time. Let this connection heal that. The connection, not the person. Let the trustworthiness, let the respect that's mutual, let the letting go and allowing heal that feeling. Because it's feeling like very uninterested, blah, this is, All right. Let's look at the other 2, potentially 2. Let's look at the other one first that's already been here. Wow, fell on the floor. Let me get the other one. One is going at the speed of light. I think that was the cheetah that flew over there. So one is, and when I say speed of light, one of the connections is just, we got it going on. We know where this is going. It's happening. There's lots of momentum. The whale on the bottom of the deck there is interesting. Hold on. Ugh. Yep, it was the cheetah. Okay, show me. They want this here. They want this here. They want this here. There's that V. Okay. Who is this initiative person? Yep. Okay. Check this out. Put it where you can see all three cards. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Put it on hold. There's that hangman with this person. So it's this moth connection. We already knew that. Is on hold with whoever's over here, right? They are moths together. And you know what's very interesting to me? Somebody is really having a hard time. I'm hearing, how could you? And it's like, what? Wasn't we said this was the agreement. Okay. What's very interesting to me is that this initiative person, the vantage point we're getting, is connected to someone in their cheetah nature. The cheetah nature is very much, look what I'm capable of and I can do. And I do it for the best of all. I do it for the blessings of all. I do it to inspire. I do it because this is what I was created as, like we talked about before, right? They have spots and everybody looks at their spots. They did not choose their spots, as in it was given by the creator. The human part of them did not say, give me spots, right? However, because it was given to them, they're meant to use it for the glory of the higher power, to say, I was created to do these things. What were you created to do? And so they're connecting with someone here in this line that seems to be newest out of all three connections. And what it's doing is having them go, heck yes, I've attracted this connection in this other person because now I'm really flowing in who I am. Because that's how they connect. And they fuel that in each other. Okay? It's like two people, it's like two cheetahs dropped in the water and they grab onto the same whale and say, let's take this whale as our ride to the next chapter of life, you know? However, this person who connected with this initiative person, the person who we're seeing this all through, had connected with them as a moth. The moth is the butterfly of the night, of the shadow. It's not colorful. It's not seen as something beautiful by all. It's the parts of us that are in the shadow. It's the parts of us that are in that most intimate, sacred place of who we are. So this is a very intimate connection that's different. It stimulates something different. If you're involved in an ethically non-monogamous connection or arrangement, relationship structure, whatever you want to call it, remember, part of what you're signing up for is to recognize that we activate different parts of people based off of who we are and what our connection does. And we're never meant to expect someone to be everything to us. Even in monogamy, people have friends, family, coworkers, soulmates that are going to activate you in ways that no one else on the planet can, because it's that unique chemistry of your two energies coming together. However, what's happening here is, instead of celebrating that this moth connection, instead of celebrating that you two are moths together, this person that's having a really difficult and different perspective lately is comparing it to the cheetah connection and the buffalo connection. And it's making them look at their own inner thoughts and the story they're telling themselves about who they are. They need to recognize this connection only connects in this way right now. In that moth, inner, shadow self, we see each other's deep secrets in the dark, and we accept and acknowledge each other, and we came through that together. This person needs to recognize there's other people in the world that are going to activate them in the same way that this cheetah activates this person as a cheetah. Because a moth is not a cheetah. It's different parts of the being. And we are all of these animals. We have access to all of these parts. It's a different energy. Okay. All that being said, let's look at this buffalo now. This buffalo seems to be like, I'm good where I'm at. Like, now, this is the cheetah. The person that connects with this person as a cheetah is connecting with someone in a different way. Let's talk about it. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Yep. And then I almost said Hanged Man again. That's happened in pile 1 too. It happens. If something's happening in one connection, it affects the others because it's part of the energy exchanges, right? So I'm feeling like this person's like, like guards, guards in place. This connection is separate from everything else. And with it's like they don't want me to say Wheel of Fortune, but it is the Wheel of Fortune. I almost said 10 of Pentacles. Before that, I said Hanged Man. Like, the wheel is turning over here. And for those that watched, for those that watched the intro where I had a big message about this Libra full moon, the pink moon, I said that train left the station. And whether you were in the bathroom on the train, whether you were sitting peacefully with your seatbelt on, whether you were the one driving the train because you were the conductor and you were chosen for that, whether you were being dragged by it, you were hanging on to the side, sitting on top of it trying to hang on, or taped to the windshield, like it left. Wherever you were, it left. Astrologically, collectively, right? And so right now, you're either hanging on or you're chilling. This connection over here is chilling, and they're like, excuse me, we paid for this passenger car and no one else can be in this passenger car. Oh boy. I don't need to say much about that connection because it's golden. And this person, to be honest, the vantage point of the person who's watching, you're this person, perhaps, or not. This person is completely uninvolved in that connection. Okay? So the N is definitely, I don't know, it's sideways right now as we're reading this. It's like this, 1, 2, 3. But these aren't connected. So it's like person here, person here, person here, person here. Whatever, who cares about the shape? I don't know what I'm pulling another card for, but they're bringing me something. So the Devil, the Emperor, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, when you operate in a space, I'm talking about everybody, right? This is the lesson right now. When you operate in a space where you are giving power to the fear, the insecurity, the thoughts, the story you're telling yourself, the things that have been hidden in the illusions, the toxic traits, and too much in the humanity instead of balancing out where there's a lot in the spirit. We need to lead with spirit, right? Whatever you call your spiritual higher power, it's all the same in my eyes. We just have different names of what we call mom or dad. Okay? And at the same time, there are parts of our humanity that are good. And what I'm getting here is there's parts here of this insecurity that's good. How can insecurity be good? Because it turns you back to where your security is actually found. And that's in whatever you believe in, that name that you call. Your own truth that you're given by your higher power, like the spots the cheetah's given, like the unique form the moth is given, like the steadfastness and very, very, very haughty stability of the buffalo. Who are you? Independently from anybody else, who are you? What were you created to do? What are you good at? Without trying, you wake up and you do it by walking, by breathing. Everybody involved here would say, heck yeah, do that. That's your security. That quality, that truth, that value, that virtue. That's how you, and I mean that's your security in the earth. You need to stand on that spot. And then your security in the headspace and in the spirit is the only thing I depend on for that is my higher power that lives in me. I am the universe, the divine consciousness in my own form. Okay? So there's some balancing and harmonizing of parts of the self that need to happen with whoever this moth person is struggling with a feeling of jealousy. That's actually a blessing in disguise. All right? Thanks for watching. You all, as my ENM poly folks, have really been giving me the best feedback out of all videos that I put up. So I really appreciate all those comments and the likes and the views. Till I see you again, spread love, share joy every day in your own unique way, and take care for now. Bye. Pile 3. You've got the V, the triad, the 3 individual solo folks, out of all the things I said that this pile could possibly be, what's going on. Okay, I need to tell you what's going on. You know what's going on. Now, I've been telling pile 1 and pile 2, I'm reading this as if I had a drone that came up and saw a bird's eye view in the past readings, and now it's coming and checking in with one consciousness, one person. So this is going to be someone's energy. I did this like the first time I did one of the readings, and it was really cool. Last year sometime. This is going to be a way that I can tap into the connections instead of just the individual energies, which I've been doing a lot of in the other readings, okay? It's been bird's eye view. However, bird's eye view is without all of the emotions of humanity, right? Bird's eye view tells you all the divine things you need to know, the wisdom, the self-healing, all that stuff. We're going to tap a little bit more into how people are feeling and what's going on, okay? Wonderful. So the person who we're seeing the vantage point of, is a kind, dear, sweet heart. Someone who wants the best for everybody. Someone who really is calm and, for lack of sounding redundant, mindful about the fact that these are all spirit beings and different souls having an experience. This person is non-attached to anyone else's plight, while also being compassionate and empathetic and caring about the fact that they are having a plight. This is the kind of person that would say, okay, so what are you going to do about that? What's your role? How can you be of the best service in the world as the being you were created to be. From that place, how does that plight serve you and teach you? This would be someone who, it would be very shocking to me if this person was involved in any type of job other than a career that helps people. This is a humanitarian, this is an activist, this is a social worker, this is a psychologist, a therapist, a Reiki healer, a theta healer, a tarot reader, a spiritual coach. You know what I'm saying? They live there. So if for any reason this person has missed that mark on monetizing that as their service to the world, they better get on that right now, okay? Because that's exactly who they are. And it makes sense that's the easiest place my guides would have me tap into, because that's really very much what I do in my own career in different ways, okay? So I understand this person the best right now as I'm practicing doing these ENM poly readings. Why am I, okay, somebody's like, well, why are you talking about that? My guides are saying, listen to what she just said, because it helps you pinpoint who we're talking about. It's the person that feels the same as the energy of Alicia right now. All right, now, we got a raccoon connection here, but it's in reverse. I don't like that, but it's okay. It's what it is. Non-attachment, like we said. Whoa. They want the lot. No, they don't. They do, but this isn't, okay. This is a message, not a connection. Okay, hold on. Weird. So it's not, like I said, it's not a connection, but it's a message. Okay, got it. Remember we said this could be a hinge with, what do they call it? Y'all, I'm tired. Not wings. Oh, legs? Oh, I don't remember. This could be a V. Or it could be a V in the making. It could be... Hold on. All three people are not detached, non-attached. All three people are non-attached. Show me where this person is in this. Okay. So... Mm-hmm. This person understands that relationships are a blessing as part of the experience. However, they view relationships as something that should never be a confinement or restriction on what they're here to do. So they, is it vacillate? Yeah. They vacillate between being involved with one of these legs, okay? So one person here in a lizard way, accommodating way, a tactile way, a affectionate, cuddling, very intuitive, almost psychic with each other in practical terms way, and then being on their own. It's as if this person likes the idea of non-monogamy because they are able to be involved with one person in a connection and have no interest in always having to be involved with that one person in that connection, because they've got other things that they are here purposed to do that take up a lot of their time, their mind space, their energy, and their passion. I want to take a look at this connection and make sure that whoever this is as the lizard is okay with that. Like, and all I mean is it's serving both of them. Yes, it is. 4 of Swords. And there's a little lizard in there, look. We come and we share our thoughts. We have peace together. And that's all we need. It's a soft place for us to land. Empress, yep. We come and we pour love on each other. Soft place to land. We accommodate and adapt to what's needed for each other in that moment, and then we go and do our own things. So I would be really drawn to say that the hinge is right here, okay? In other words, this connection is with someone who is willing to say, I'm here for it, as long as it's serving us both. However, they still see themselves as autonomous in this connection. And free and willing and able to go do something with someone else if they desire to. Now, this raccoon connection is having a little bit of a hard time right now, and I think it's because, hold it up. I think it's because there was a time when it was working for both people. There was a time where the resourcefulness between each of you, whoever you are, these two, was being fed and being blessed. And it could have even been that these two folks, the two raccoons, right, were helping each other. It's gotten to a point where they're hurting each other. It's like the same non-attachment that's been found here with the two lizards has been forgotten over here with the two raccoons. So whoever the hinge is in this connection, it's so funny that they chose to have me see from the vantage point of this person. Because a lot of times when you look at the one who's dealing with, there's all of this, it's hard for them to see clearly, right? This person's so objective to it all that they can share right now as I'm channeling with them and what's going on with them, what's going on between these two that they're having a hard time seeing. And it's like this person who connects with this person in their lizard nature has forgotten that connecting with this other person in their raccoon nature needs to still have them be their own abled body, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, physical body. Like, you're still an individual. So there's a little bit of these two getting lost in each other with the raccoon. I'm going to look at that connection right now, okay? If that's all right with y'all. Yep. Queen of Pentacles on the side. Three of Cups. That's because one person is benefiting more than the other. So you've got one person here, the Three of Cups, which feels like the other, right? Not the hinge, the other person here. And then the hinge person is literally kind of loosening, breaking at the hinges of, I'm thinking that as a door, like it's getting wobbly because I feel like they're asking too much energy, too much resources, too much time, too much attention, too much, it's like, and for them it's good, of course, because they're the one receiving it all. However, this person's like, and it's like they're playing back the story and they're like, now wait a minute, I've been giving all of this and you've been okay with that. However, I'm starting to feel depleted. And do you have anything to give? Like, are you able to now give that back? And there's this tower moment happening. This person may have picked up on that, being so mindful and so, that's a light worker for you right there. A light worker, star seed, angel embodied, earth angel, whatever you want to call whatever categorization, they're all light workers of some sort. And lions and lionesses that are doing what? The message here is they're doing the mission work. And it reminds me of the Lion's Portal for some reason. So check out when the Lion's Portal was last year. It's always, what is it? Oh, I can't think right now because I need to eat. Is it 8-8? Maybe. Okay, I'm seeing the number 8. So now we've got the Chariot, the Two of Wands. So the scene is moving on, moving forward, getting momentum over the threshold. What is the threshold here? The Ten of Swords. Opportunity, Five of Wands. It's getting tiresome. It's starting to feel uncomfortable. Reality, Star card. The masks are falling off. The masks that were once helping are falling off. Let me explain, because a lot of times we think about masks as the negative thing of hiding and concealing. That's not the mask I'm referring to. I'm talking about, have you ever put on a mask and it's helped you actually express a part of yourself more because you've taken on more of that confidence and playing that role, that part of you? I think about The Masked Singer a lot, if you ever watched that, right? It could be an NFL player that's famous for football and he puts on a certain costume and then sings his heart out, and no one knew he could sing. It gave him some kind of confidence and an ability to go into a different space, a different part of himself to do that. That's what I mean. Whatever mask these two connected in that helped them express that part of themselves is now falling off. It's time to express a different part of themselves, and they're recognizing that season may be over, or they no longer want to play that role. They'd like to play a different role now. What needs to be allowed? Two of Pentacles. Compromise is the word I just got when that came out. What's yet to be expressed over here is the way we're being connected is not working for me anymore. These roles and the way that we're doing this is hurting me more than helping me. It's now becoming imbalanced, unjust, and it's only serving you. I want out of this arrangement. I need us to recreate. I need us to reevaluate and start a different arrangement with each other. Yep. Seven of Wands. And someone's really... And then Nine of Swords. Oh, what's rooting this right now? Lots of splitting happening. Eight of Cups and Three of Pentacles. So we were once working together. This was working for us. That's what Three of Pentacles is about. And now it's not. Like, I'm looking for something more, something else from this, right? Not outside of this. I'm looking for something more from this. You know what I'm hearing? And this feels like a twin flame connection. By the way, I was learning the other day about twin flames and mirror souls, and sometimes the twin flame is not the end-all, be-all when it is romantic, right? It's there to prepare for a higher relationship. It's the journey that gets you to the higher one. Anyways, this feels like someone who follows a twin flame type journey, and what I'm feeling is this it? I'm not even saying that these two are twin flames. I'm saying that these two, the raccoons are getting ready for twin flames, or that they were meant to wear this mask together for a while to really learn some things and to set something in motion. However, if they are in fact twin flames that were meant to set this in motion, now they're ready to have the parts of their life and the connections in their life that are not this connection. So it's as if, like I said, is this all? Like, is this as far as this connection goes? And if it is, that's okay. It also means I need more. I need to get, it's that kind of thing. So that is your reading, and I hope that helps in some way. You all here, as my ENM poly folks, have been the ones that have given me the best feedback in terms of comments and likes. So thank you for that. Please keep that up and let me know what format you're liking the most. I'm just kind of doing what I'm told with Spirit when I sit down to do your reading. I would like to get us on a schedule so you all know when to expect them, because you all are, like I said, again, engaging with me through the readings, which makes it a lot easier to serve you well. So thank you. Until I see you again, spread love and share joy every day in your own unique way, and goodbye for now.